He sits at the front row bench of Garissa's AIC church and actively engages in song among other faithful. 29-year-old Stephen Mutunga living up to a promise he made to himself and to us when we met him a day before on Saturday at the Garissa Provincial General Hospital. This is Steve with his wife Helen Muli Saturday, the 24-year-old wife having suffered a gunshot wound to the stomach, remaining in hospital since Sunday. Despite all this though, the promise Stephen made to us then
Nikienda kanisani naamini nitakuwa salama
is one he woke up to fulfill today.
Imani yangu bado haijatingizika katika Yesu. Naendelea kumwamini huyo Mungu, na baada ya mambo yote kutokea, nimejua ya kwamba ni Mungu analinda, si vyombo vya usalama vinalinda.
But despite such faith, it is difficult not to notice the activities outside the church from Steve's bench. The heavy police presence at the church, more than 15 security officers, including Administration Police and GSU officers manning this church alone, and others on constant patrol. This over and above the security provided by the Muslim community that lived up to its promise.
Tutakuwa tunakwenda kanisa, tutakuwa tunakutana na viongozi wa dini kutoka dini tofauti na wananchi wote ili kuendelea hii mambo ya ku create more awareness and peaceful coexistence.
Na msingi ambao tunatingishwa haujatingishwa ili uende, unatingishwa ili usimame imara.
It is an assurance Pastor Joseph Mutunga uses to not only assure his congregation, but himself as well. Last Sunday, he lost his sister-in-law to the tragedy, and his wife was shot badly in the leg and is still nursing injuries at the Garissa Provincial General Hospital. But despite the loss, he leads today's congregation in prayer and faith.
About wale wote ambao wameongea kwamba kanisa liweze kusimama hata wakati huu tumepitia mgumu. Ndio wakati wa kanisa kusimama na washiriki kusimama katika imani ili kwamba neno la Bwana liendelee na kukua.
Such faith also seen at the Catholic Cathedral, where though no one died in last Sunday's attack, tens were seriously injured. The security and tension in and around the church, however, doing little to discourage the faithful here.
It's a bit tense, because you are coming to a place where you know what happened last Sunday. And I think it had to take a lot of courage really to decide to come and sit through. Because if you are in, you could see even every small sound, the Christians will turn around and see what it was.
Mimi nilikuwa tunakuja na ile courage. Nilikuwa najua leo hatukufi, because God is with us.
Most of the other churches we visited today also had a heavy security presence as promised by security officials in all the 29 churches in Garissa. A quick spot check at some of them, including the ACK and PCEA churches, showing as much, but also revealing a rather low turnout in many churches that ordinarily are full to capacity, but that today were conspicuously empty. Such security presence in churches was also witnessed in other parts of the country as Kitui and Mombasa, as the threat and fear of terrorism spreads across the nation, and the government strives to reassure the country that there is adequate security.
There is the anti-terrorism bill. I know there is quite a bit of attention being given to it. We shall have to discuss it.
Most people would have argued out the case of Garissa residents, and especially faithful of both the AIC and Catholic Cathedral churches, using the saying, once bitten, twice shy. But on this particular Sunday morning, the residents and faithful have woken up to prove that saying wrong. This sort of blind faith, what they hope will act as a catalyst to the government to live up to its end of the bargain and provide the much needed security, not only in this region, but in the entire country. Evelyn Wambui, Citizen TV in Garissa.